Hey guys, so this is the third of 4 videos that I am planning to make before City of Heavenly Fire comes out. That is all about what I expect / want to happen in the last book. Like I've been saying before, I've been kind of worried about making this one because I feel like this one is going to be the longest because I have so much to say, and by so much to say I mean that like I think I get most emotional over this. So this, I've been dividing them by characters. This video specifically is going to be about Simon, Isabel, Alec, and Magnus, and what I want, basically, / think will happen in the last book with all of them. So I'm going to start off with Simon, and pretty much I feel as if I don't really have any good, clear-cut ideas for what is going to happen to a good majority of the characters. Like, other than the fact that I am almost positive that Sebastian is going to die, and obviously something is going to happen with him, and I think something is going to happen at Luke and Jocelyn's wedding. Other than that kind of thing, and I think that the couples, I'm pretty sure that all of the couples will end the series together as long as none of them die, which is why I'm far more concerned about characters dying than just them not being together, but I'm also entirely unsure of who I think is going to die. So, like with the last video, I don't really have a lot specifically that I think is going to happen with Simon, other than the fact that him and Isabel have got to just talk about their feelings at some point, because I feel like we came so close in the last book and it just didn't happen, and that really needs to happen in this one. Okay, I'm just going to go into Simon and Isabel. I was going to wait on that, but I'm going to talk about it now. So we have fan art that by Cassandra Jean, who she drew some pictures from City of Heavenly Fire, and one of them is of Simon and Isabel making out, and Alec is walking in on them, so we know that that's happening, which doesn't really tell us anything, because Simon and Isabel have been doing this weird kind of together but not actually really together thing for a good while now, so that doesn't really tell us anything, other than the fact that I'm sure that that will be an amusing scene considering Alec walks in on them, but it doesn't really say anything of importance because what I want is for them to talk about their feelings, but I still feel pretty confident that they will. I mean, you can't really draw an interesting picture of people talking anyway, but that's just what I want so badly. And I feel bad because other than her really needing to talk about her feelings with Simon, I really don't have anything else that I think Isabel is going to do throughout the course of the series. She obviously will be important in some way, and I'm sure that she will be awesome throughout the entire books because she's always pretty awesome, but I don't have anything specific that I really think she's going to do. But with Simon, I kind of want him to kill Raphael. I'm not sure if he will, or if I'm not sure how likely that is really, but it's what I want to have happen mostly. And I think I said this in my first video of this, that Raphael really annoys me. So we need 6 named characters to die, and he's just kind of a random person that I don't really care about, and so killing him off would be okay with me. It doesn't have to be Simon. And Raphael could fight with them against Sebastian and then someone else kill him, but I've always had this weird feeling with Raphael, and I could see something happening that leads to Simon killing him. Also Marine, she's kind of crazy from what we've seen now, so I could kind of see Simon killing her, but I can also, because he didn't change her, and it's not his fault, but he kind of led to it, and so if she is becoming a huge problem and they can't fix it any other way, I could see something happening that leads to her death and Simon being involved. Simon not necessarily being the one to kill her, but Simon being involved somehow. The only thing is that I also think there's a really good chance that she could be like reformed or something, just because she is such a new vampire and she like hasn't been guided. It's what they were trying to do in the last book. So like maybe they'll be able to get through to her and she'll become a better vampire or something, and she won't necessarily die. But if that doesn't work, it all kind of depends on Maureen. I can see it going either way. I don't really think Simon will kill her, but if she does end up dying somehow, I think Simon will be there and be involved just because of the past. But with Raphael, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want Simon to kill him, but I don't know. But then we also have the problem that it's not necessarily a problem, but if all of the people who are claiming to be head of that vampire clan all die, because Camille is apparently dead, although there's some speculation that she's not actually dead, and then Maureen is claiming it, and then there's Raphael, and if all of them die, then someone has to take over, and if Simon was the one to kill them, then it would be him, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't know, I just can't picture Simon being head of a vampire clan. But I thought of how that was a possibility like a couple weeks ago, so now it's kind of been in the back of my mind that it could go that way, but I'm not so sure if I think it will. I just can't see Simon's character going that way. But I mean, I guess it's possible. If it did go that way, then you have Luke, who's an alpha of a werewolf pack, and Simon, who would be the head of a clan of vampires, which would kind of help with the whole unity among the different species kind of thing, the different downworlders and the Shadowhunters. Like, I don't know, help bring them together, because Simon is obviously friends with the Shadowhunters and Luke's friends with Shadowhunters, and so it would help with that. And that is kind of the only reason I can kind of see making Simon the head of the clan, because it would help bring them together, because I don't think anything is ever going to make Raphael particularly friendly with the Shadowhunters, more so than he already is. And Maureen, maybe if they reform her, like I said, it could happen. I do think that either they're going to like get through to Maureen and she's going to befriend them, so then you still kind of have the friendship thing going, and so the end of the series will end on like a good note as far as all the relationships between all the Downworlders and the Shadowhunters go. But I don't know if it'll go with Simon being head of the clan or them getting through to Maureen, but one of those is what I see happening, kind of. But I still don't know how I feel about Simon being head of the clan. Like, something about that seems odd to me, but I also think that Cassandra Clare could make it work, so I don't know. Okay, so now we're gonna get to Alec and Magnus, which is why I thought that this video was going to be so long. Like, I could go on and on about Simon and Isabel too, but at the same time I don't feel like I have much to say other than freaking out emotionally. It's the same kind of thing with Alec and Magnus, so I'm not actually sure if this will be too incredibly long, because I don't really have a lot to say. It's just how emotional thinking about it makes me. So clearly I want them to get back together. This is why I didn't like putting these 4 characters in this same video, and I didn't realize it until later. It's because, like, Mia and Jordan are already back together, Jace and Clary are still together, so I don't have to talk about that, but I put the 2 couples that actually, like, need to work out relationship problems in the same video. So that's, like, all that I can think about. Simon and Isabel clearly, obviously, haven't even been together completely yet. They kind of have, but Magnus and Alec, man, I still am not over the breakup, because I swear that is the most heartbreaking and at the same time beautiful breakup scene that I have ever read, and I've never wanted to go back and reread a breakup scene, but I don't have the book with me at school because I've been taking things home because I move out next week, and I want less to take out during like the final moving out process, so I hardly have any books with me, so I haven't had the book, and all I want to do is reread the breakup scene. But breakup scene. Of all of the scenes that I could want to reread, I want to reread the scene that they break up, and I don't have the book and it's driving me crazy. Just, I don't know what it is. There's just something about that scene and it kills me. But I love it at the same time, and I don't know. But that has nothing to do with, well, I mean, it kind of has something to do with City of Heavenly Fire, but not really. I really want them back together. There was a part of me before that was a little bit worried that they wouldn't get back together, because I think that it was somewhat of a possibility. Now we have fan art of a scene from City of Heavenly Fire that is them kissing, so that at least happens, and it's Magnus kissing Alec, who, considering Magnus is the one who broke up with Alec, is a good sign, I guess, that things are getting like better. So that's optimistic. It doesn't really necessarily mean that they're going to end up together, but it makes me more confident that they will, because that, like I said, that is definitely a good sign. So I have my fingers crossed that they will end the series together. I don't just want them to get back together though. Like, I want them to address the problems that were there before, because I mean, those are huge problems, and I don't like that they broke up, but there are definitely things that need to be addressed. And I think, I don't know, like, obviously Magnus broke up with Alec for things that Alec had done, and yes, what Alec did was bad, but I also think that Magnus needs to think about what he's done and what led Alec to do what he did. If that makes any sense. I think it does if you've read the books and like know everything. Then obviously, like, it's not just Alec's fault. Like, they both have things that they need to be addressed, and I really want that to be addressed in the last book, and them both acknowledge that they have done some not so awesome things, and just for them to both talk and finally like get through that. Of course, we have a teaser from the book that kind of confirms that who Magnus's dad is going to be, like, at least come up. We don't necessarily know that we're going to find out who his dad is, but the fact that Cassandra Clare released a teaser where they're talking about who Magnus's dad is kind of points to me that we will find out who Magnus's dad is. And since one of the biggest problems with Magnus and Alec's relationship was the fact that Magnus wasn't really offering Alec any information about his past, the fact that that is clearly going to come up is, I think, I don't know what will come first, if like who Magnus's dad is will come out and that will kind of do something that leads to them getting back together, or if they'll get back together and then Magnus realizes that he needs to open up to Alec, and then the information about his dad will come out or whatever. But clearly whoever Magnus's dad is going to play an important part. I'm not entirely sure how. I don't know if we'll be seeing Magnus's dad, but I think if it's going to be important, then we will be, which could be interesting. But I don't know, because there are a large number of ways that could go, but it'll be interesting. I really want to know who it is, but I also, even more than the fact than that, I just want it to be like one less kind of barrier between Magnus and Alec, and that they will finally like just make up and get rid of, they don't have to get rid of all of their problems in this book, because clearly we only have so much time, but they're like starting to make progress and they end the series together and happy. That is what I want. I think that's all I have to say. I tried to condense things, but I think I kind of went off on tangents a bit and it didn't really happen. I have no clue how long this is. I don't feel like I've been talking as long as I was scared I was going to talk. That also might be just because I'm so into what I'm saying that it seems like it hasn't been that long when really it has. Yeah, I think it's definitely been longer than I feel like it's been, but that is all I have to, well, it's not all, I could go on. This is the hardest one of these 4 videos for me because I just, so many emotions, but yeah, so I have one more and it's probably gonna come later, closer to the book, but I think that is all for now, and I will see you guys later. Bye.